Okay, good evening, everyone. So, how many of us have done our assignments? Hmm? Oh, we are waiting. Let me assume we are all waiting for tomorrow. Oh, is it difficult? Oh, yeah, give me feedback now. There's nothing wrong if you have not done your assignment. Please, it's not yet the deadline. I won't cut off your head.
Yeah,
What happened? Do what?
I said I'm actually here to submit it.
The good one. It's not submitted, have you?
Sir?
So, what happened? What happened? Why, how is it? How do you perceive the assignment?
You said what, sir? I didn't hear you clearly.
I said, can you hear me? I said the assignment. How is it going? Have you started attempting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other
Yes, I
person?
have.
Class governor. Okay, where's the last? Can somebody drop me the source code?
Sir, hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Can you? Okay. Yeah, good evening, sir. So I was trying to unmute, so I was having issues unmuting my mic. So, sir, regarding the assignments, I've not done it yet. I'm still in the process of doing it, sir, because I have I I traveled, so I have light issues charging my laptop, and also I've been managing it. That's one of the reasons why, sir.
All right, no problem. We have a lot to cover. Somebody should please drop me the source code I shared last. I think that should be the one I shared on your WhatsApp. Someone should drop it for me. Let's start. It seems some people are far behind, but they are not saying anything. They're not talking. Hmm? They're not saying anything. After this week, maybe I'm hoping maybe next week I will wrap up on JavaScript. Hoping that we'll round up on JavaScript today, and then next week we are supposed to begin Bootstrap. So we begin to we begin to move ourselves into advance, into standard web design. Please understand. And from there, I think when we start Bootstrap, I'll now begin to show you how you can web scrap an existing website and modify it for your use. You understand? Something like this. Maybe this is a website. Actually, I wanted to create a web application for fashion content. So I just got some particular sample things. So I want to reuse. I don't want to copy. I don't want to. What's the name of this for that? I don't want to duplicate this work, right? Which is not good. So, but what I want to do is I will use the template, change the pictures, the image, the text. So you can see I have access to the source code here, but it's not only having access to the source code, but having access to the library, the JavaScript, and the CSS file. How do we get all of those things? So those are what I'll be teaching you guys, so that at least you've learned foundation, and then we'll also look at React. So um, we have a lot to cover, and actually it's just getting interesting. Like I said, if you're having challenge, don't keep mute. That group is for everybody to learn. You keep mute, and you nobody will be at fault for it. You get so it means you are just wasting time. But yeah, anyone now, help me to drop the source code to this chat. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You said we
Let me
should.
someone let me copy the source code on the WhatsApp and drop it here. I don't want to go
Is
into
it the
WhatsApp.
code for the students?
What we are doing today, the one we are supposed to do last week, I dropped it on WhatsApp
Okay.
last week.
Okay, sir. The front end. The-
Something is wrong here. It's not
So I've
right.
checked it too. There's no code there.
I've
Are
dropped
you
it,
sure?
sir. The code last week Tuesday. You sent it
Okay,
last week
This
last
Tuesday.
one.
week. I thought you said recently.
Yeah. I've dropped it on the chat box, sir.
Not sure if you copied very well. Let's continue. All right. So we want to get back to work. How many of you have implemented that source code? Can you respond on the chat? I got feedback from your from UI UX, uh, from the facilitator. Most of you in this class are part of that class. The feedback I got was that there are some that don't have laptop. Yeah, no problem with that. But there are some that then majority of you depend on watching the playback video. Why is this so? Either some of you are not you mute during the class, you're not following, or you just mute. You mute, you're not following the class, or you don't join. So you are relying on video. It's not going to pay us. Right. I not find the opportunity again. Okay. So, all right, so we're going to start with this. First of all, let's save this HTML file. So we are creating an app for student info checker. So couple of stuff is doing. I'm going to explain it to us. So let's set it up.
Excuse me, sir. Your voice is, I don't know how to describe it, but at one point it would be loud, at one point it would reduce again. Like it's not
Okay.
stable.
Let me connect on my other laptop.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Let me just manage. Is it better?
Yes, it's okay. Manageable. It's not as if we cannot hear, but sometimes it will sound as if you are far away from where you
Okay,
are,
don't worry,
and
don't worry.
sometimes it
I will
sounds
not
as if
take
you are close.
I will not take the laptop back
Okay.
home. Okay. So let's reference this. Mm, Okay, we set our CSS. What is the next one? Okay, so let's link it up here.
So you said what, sir?
We can't hear you clearly, sir.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me try. Can you hear me now? Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Huh? Right. Let me just manage myself. I will have to dig my head into the laptop. Then.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly, sir. Your voice is fine. Only that my way I'm using my phone, but your voice is clear
Okay.
from my end.
Oh, okay. All right. So, okay, let's start. So I think I've linked up my CSS and the JavaScript. Let me open this. Okay, this is what we have right here. Let me. Okay. So let's see how it works. So what we have right here is a simple application. It is called call checker, right? Student info checker. It says call checker. Sha. Is it info checker? Let me check again. Student info checker. Okay, let's leave it as such. So it's a very simple application. So what it's doing is you enter the student name and you enter his score. When you enter the score, it's going to tell like maybe you enter your name Sarah and then you enter a score, maybe a score in mathematics or English. Then it's going to tell you maybe you pass that course or you failed it. You understand? Just like the way you are able to be graded in a particular course you are doing in school, maybe in GNS course, yes, MTS course, maybe you pass it or you fail it, those kind of logic. So that's what it's doing right there. So we have the normal, remember your normal HTML, your head, right, and your body. The body is right here, right, and you close your HTML. So also, like I said, your CSS should always be at the end before your body code loads. Why? So that the CSS, because like I said, web application, it executes from top to bottom. So what it means is your CSS must first load before your code loads. Do you get? So your CSS is what is going to beautify, is going to create the text on the HTML code, the HTML tags and the likes. So and this CSS, I put it in a file. I hope you guys remember the file structure. What I just did here was to do proper structure. This is a normal standard structure. Your first web page will be called index.html, the home page. Hmm? And then anything like image, CSS, library, every library, related, library related, I mean like images. You need to add images, you need to add CSS file, you need to add JavaScript file. We put them into a folder called asset. It's just a naming convention. You can put your own as Sarah asset or Sarah library, whatever, or Fit library. You get, but this is just so mostly when you see professional website, or when you work in an organization, you always see something like assets. Just know that asset contains what the asset for your website. So when you click it, you will now see the folders for CSS. If I have images, I'll create another folder called image. And that's where I'm going to store my image. And that is why I'll be referencing all my image. I'll be referencing it from here. You get right. So this is standard project. So CSS contains my CSS file. And this is directory. This is directory. Look at it. This is my document, RDI frontend, JavaScript app. This is what the application is, and then asset folder CSS. So I need to reference the CSS in my index.html. So that's why you see the root folder where index is asset, then CSS folder, and then in my CSS.css file inside it. And this is my CSS file. So inside my CSS file, I've been able to write a CSS code to beautify, to create an effect on this website that we are seeing right here. You can see that this is very beautiful. Look at the background, look at the input, look at this. So you could reference all of these things, all of these CSS are impacting here. So when you see something like, I taught you this. When you see body, this means this will affect the entire body. If I remove this, let's see the changes. Can you see changes? The body changed to white. So that is to create an effect to what? To the body tag. This is, you are creating a CSS for the body tag. Please, if you don't understand CSS, I beg in the name of God, please call people up. If you don't call people up, you are really on your own because you are just wasting your time. So reach out if you don't understand it. I explained this to us the other time. When you put body tag, this means that this is going to affect this body tag. You get so everything within this will inherit this CSS code right there. It means everything within body will have this font style, area, sans serif, background will have this kind of background, and the padding will have 20 pixels padding. I've explained padding to you, so I won't go back to it again. So you can check Google or ChatGPT to explain if you are not clear about it. This one H1, is for text. This one will affect every tag that has H1 will have this CSS. Now this one, remember when the other time I talked to you about class. This one is about when you see hash, it means they did an ID for an HTML element. This is ID. So they did not use class here, they use ID. Sometimes we use ID. When you use ID, you put this hash to write CSS code for it. But assuming I remove this hash and I put dot container. So what I will have right here, not with the class. Do you get me? So this is for class.
Yes,
Class.
sir.
So
Yeah.
you get that?
Hello, sir.
All right. Because you'll be saying that a lot. So don't let it confuse you. You see
Hello,
hash,
sir.
when you use hash. Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, I want to ask, what's the difference between class and ID, the hash and the dot?
Okay.
Is
Very
it
good
that
question.
there are specific places where it can be used, or they are both the same thing?
All right. Let me explain from tag first. The tag, okay, let me stick to what you are. ID is for identity. Class is for categorization. So for example, we can look for two boxes and say, okay, for example, election box. We can say this box is for APC, this box is for PDP, this box is for Labour Party. You understand? Should I use that to explain? No, don't let me use that. Don't let me confuse you. Okay, so identity if you use ID and you write CSS for that ID tag, for that ID, it can only be used in one place. But if you write CSS for a class, you can reference that class any other way, any other place. So now, this is what I mean. Like now, container CSS, yeah, the ID is container. I cannot do something like this. I cannot come here and do something like this. Maybe, you see, I cannot do something like this. Like, repeat the container ID again. It will not work. But if it is class, I can do it. So for class, I can reuse the CSS file in a multiple way in different elements, right? But if it is an ID, I can only use it in one place. So most times it is not common to use ID to write CSS. People use classes. Do you understand? ID can only be used in one place. That's the simplest way I can explain it to you. But class can be used on multiple tags, HTML tags. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. It is clear, sir.
Most time they don't use ID. They don't use it. Most time. So most time it's class. But I intentionally put this so that I can draw your attention to this, so that when you see it, you're not confused. So you see, they wrote CSS for everything. The input, the button tag, they wrote CSS for it. You see, everything button over, meaning when I over on this, look at it. You see, it changed color when I came on this button. When I put my mouse on it, you see, the color changed to a dark blue. So that's the power of CSS. So this will reveal a lot of power. Look at this result box. You see this? This is what? What is this? Dot result box. Is it class or ID?
Class, sir.
All right, good. So where's result box? Can't find result box. Okay. Okay, we'll look at it. Wait. Result. Oh, okay. I know where it is. Good. So the main thing I want to explain to us here is JavaScript. But let us test this code first. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. So easy. For example, let me say fit. Let me say fit from 80. It is fit. It is pass. How does it know that fit pass? Let's put on that one. Sarah. Let me see. This 5. Do you see? Pass. Let me see. What? Let's put that. You see? Fail? Do you see it? Let me see the number. Let me see it. It said pass. The number pass. Now, how many of you can see this?
I can see, sir.
Do you think
Yes.
who can tell me what is happening? What is that? Who can just tell me what is happening right here? Who can explain? And in what use case? I want you to reason very fast. In what use case?
Okay.
Where is this applicable? What you are seeing right here?
Is it where you have the list of all the records?
No, I want you to explain a use case, like a scenario in your school. If you are a person that is working, you can explain. If you're in the medical line, you can say that, okay, maybe this is how they register patients, or no, this one is particular to, it's call line. Like, I just want you to think, like, what is happening right here? Just say something. You can continue, sir.
Okay, let me try. It's actually has its list. I don't know how to is it an element I'll call it? Like it's list. Like when you are adding or you want to get a list instead of you entering one and getting for only maybe one value. or just one entry alone, you want multiple entries. The list, I'm trying to remember the word. It's actually a list, actually. I don't know how to put it, but it is used when you want to like get maybe large amount of data instead of entering one input time and time again. You just get to like have a list of what you actually want. That's actually the best.
Okay, fine. Who wants to tell me? Who next? What is happening right there? How can you explain it? Just in a layman form. Very simple.
Hello, sir. I don't know. Can you hear me, sir?
Your voice is very low. Who's speaking?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's Bridget. I think it's my laptop. I don't know. It's having issues. It's
Huh?
faulty.
It's very, very low. But you can proceed.
Okay. I think what's going on, what is happening here is that you are trying to get a data. You're trying to get data concerning different people. So I think I think the answer to what I think you can use it when you want to filter out or get out a particular data for somebody or for, yeah, I think that's what is going on here.
All right. Okay, thank you. Let me just put it in a very simple form. What we are doing right here is computing. This is computing, straightforward. Right. So computing is simple. We are seeing us imputing a record. The record we imputed is being calculated. There's a logic operating on the record we imputed. And then there's an active. Oh, sorry, a call came in. Anyway. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, a call came in. All right, let's proceed. So what we have right here is just computing, right? So you impute a record, and then the record you imputed, a logic is acted on it, and then you are seeing the active. So you impute a name, and then you input a score, and then at the end of the day, the output you are seeing result pass. So this is computing. This is the power of computing. So it's the same way. It's the same. It's see. This is the lowest form of artificial intelligence. Do you understand? Ability to determine an outcome. Yeah, based on a particular logic that is put in place. So let's look at what is happening right here. So let's look at our HTML page. So let's look at one after the other. So in our HTML page, we have a body. So under the body, that is, so everything you see right here is within the body, right? Like I taught you. So we have something called H1, which is student info checker. This is student info checker. So CSS has been applied on it. And we have something called a container. A container has a CSS. There's some things, background, padding, margin, border radius. We put some things. So that's why you see, this is the container, this guy. So you could see the effect. Look at the effect of the edges. There's shadow on the border. So that is the effect of CSS. Border radius 5, right? And then there's a box shadow. So it has a border mark of 5 pixel radius, and then it has a box shadow. So that's why you see something shadowy at the edge here. So this is a container. Do you get? And then you have input. Remember the input. Input element in HTML is to input records. You know, this is the input text. This is the input numbers. So you could see them define their text number, and then they apply that. Pay attention to this. because we'll be using this in JavaScript. Remember, we used it in our last class. Name and score are the ID. You see, they are unique. They must be. If they are the same, your code will give you trouble. So, and then we have a button which has on click events. Remember, we did event trigger on button. Yeah. So this is your button. It means that whenever we click this button, something should happen. Yeah, that's why I say on click. There's a function tied to it right here. Okay, the one I taught you the other time, I put an ID on the button and then I apply a function. It's the same thing. When we are writing code, I like to use different method in achieving things so that you don't get confused when you begin to learn on your own. So I will use this method and I will change it again, tweak it again. You see you arrive at the same thing. And then there's something called results here. Results. So there's something this guy is doing. I will intimate us about that. This guy is the results MPD holding the results. All right, so let's look at the JavaScript. So in a nutshell, when you input your number, you input your score, input your name, your score, then you click add student. It means an action is taking place. It's stacking up the information you put there and then adding the result. Okay, based on the score, if you pass or you fail, you could say 30 minutes fail, 15 minutes pass. So we need to know what's the criteria, how was all these things achieved. Let's come to JavaScript. My JavaScript, I put it at the bottom after my body. I allow my code to finish loading before referencing my JavaScript. You see, my JavaScript is under asset JS, my JS.js. So this is my JavaScript. All right. Do you guys understand it to this point before I explain the JavaScript to you? Do you understand it? Literally, just literally.
No, sir.
Ah, okay. So what don't you understand? Let me know.
Like this asset, where your cursor is, the assets /js/my.js. Like I don't understand why you had to put the asset there. Like
Oh,
this
okay.
ASSETS.
I think I explained it before now. Maybe did you guys hear me when I was explaining the assets? Or maybe my voice was low then.
Maybe I didn't hear it.
Okay. Like what I said is that asset is just a way of arranging my projects. So yours asset is, okay, for example, if they tell you that Sarah, where did you put all your assets? Assets are like your properties, right? You can say that, okay, I put all of my properties that are under this, or for example, there's a place where you keep your, when you are in hostel or when you are in your own accommodation, your room. There's a reason why you keep your spoons, your plates. There's a reason why you put them in the kitchen. There's a reason why you don't want them to litter around in your room. You know, in a proper housing, when you have a kitchen, what needs to be in the kitchen should not be in the room, right? What should be in the toilet, bedroom should not be in the room, should not be in the kitchen. So it's the same thing as assets. So in a proper project, when you are doing website, what you always see, anything that has to do with your JavaScript, CSS code files, or images, they put it under a folder called assets. You can call your own library. You can say library. It's still the same thing. It's just a naming. But most time you see it as assets. Then under assets, I now created different folder to keep my CSS, because most time when you are writing a project, you will write CSS that are like 20 different CSS. You have JavaScript that are like 50. You can't just mess up your work and combine CSS and JavaScript everything together. You want to do a clean job and a proper separation, so that when you enter your JavaScript folder, you can able to do you can able to reference JavaScript files. And when you want to reference an image, you can come into image folder and see all your images there. So that is why we separated. That's what we have done. So if you like, you might not need to put CSS folder, image, and JS under assets. You might put everything directly in this directory of index.html. It does not make your work neat, but your code will work fine. Do you understand? So it's just a professional way of working. That's why I put everything under assets. Is that clear now, Sarah? Hello, please. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we are coming to JavaScript. Please, it's not complex. And this one is, I taught you guys directory. Please go back to that class and learn it, please. For JavaScript, now we are coming to the complex work. So this is what is holding our JavaScript. From your end, somebody should tell me how many functions do we have in this JavaScript. You can check the source code from your end. I hope you guys have onboarded this. You have onboarded this function. Have you onboarded the source code? Are you running it? You should, as I'm working, you should also be able to follow me, the code, the web app, the websites, so that you'll be able to understand. But yeah, who wants to tell me how many functions do we have in this website, in this JavaScript? How many JavaScript functions do we have in?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. We have two functions.
Okay.
The add student functions and also the show student functions. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Good. Okay. So let's continue. So number one, the first function is we have a function for add student. So where's add student? This is it. Add student. So we declared on this button that when a user clicks this button, invoke this function, JavaScript function. So that's why you find add student here. So we declared add student as a function first. It is only acted upon when we assign it to an event like on click, on rollover, on press. We have different events that can be performed in a website. And then the JavaScript can listen when an action, I told you every object is in a state of inertia until an external force acts upon it. The law of motion. So the law of motion is what takes place in JavaScript. So without putting action to any event, nothing is going to run. In short, nobody will know that you have a JavaScript in a website. But until when you now begin to determine that, okay, this JavaScript code, I'm wrapping it around this function, and that function is tied to an event. An event can be click, writing, be input while you are inputting into a text box. It can apply to any object, any element in HTML. Do you get? You can say unload event, meaning that when your website loads, it should trigger. When your website load, it should trigger this. When you press your button for 5 seconds to perform this action, you can even put a timer. You can develop a clock watch. It's a JavaScript you use to do that. What it's just doing is JavaScript has a timing this thing. So you can use it to create an alarm. You can use it to create a clock. You can do all of that on your using JavaScript. You understand? So JavaScript, listen, it's applicable to actions events. So without an action applied, your website just look like a dummy, even though you have a lot of JavaScript. All right. So another thing is, whenever you see a source code, I know many of you fear has gripped your heart. Many of you have even said that you might have concluded that I cannot know this thing. The first way of approaching anything is do not fear. The second is do not fear. And the third is do not fear. Don't be intimidated by anything. So for every line of code, this one this one has been concluded. I intentionally did that. I can't be doing from scratch every time with you guys. So this one has been concluded and I have to bring it up. So I will explain it to you. So every source code can be explained, iterative. You just need to take your time. So sometimes you just need to look at a website to understand the code. Let me teach you. You okay, when you click this and something happens, you now need to okay, what is responsible for this click event? Then you now go to your HTML where this button is. That's how to troubleshoot. Okay, you troubleshoot. You now say, okay, this is the button that is performing the action. You now trace it, add student. You now look for the JavaScript. You now look add student. So you now be able to say, okay, what is happening add student? Let's look at it. Number one, we declare something here. I'll come here. I will explain it to us later, but leave it for now. So number one is you can declare a variable like this, let name. I think I taught you that. You can use var to declare also. So the first thing, they declared a variable called name, and then document or get element by name, get element by ID, get element by ID. That's what. Get element by ID. I thought you guys remember. ID is name. So it means get element by, it means get the value of this guy where you put the name of the person. The second one applies. Get the value of the next element, which is this one. 4. So the reason why they now put a number function is to convert it to number, because what you are picking out from JavaScript is seen as an object. It's seen as a string. Do you get? So we want to be sure that we convert it to a number data type. I call it data type. The reason be that there will be a case when you begin to apply arithmetic functions on the element. The arithmetic function might be considering it as a text or a string. So to be sure, to be super sure, we convert it to number. So this is the inbuilt function for JavaScript to convert a value to number. Do you get? So right here, this name and score, name is keeping the name of the person you input here. What you input here is the name and the score. So these two variables are holding those two things. So what is the next thing? I know this is going to be the scary part for you guys. So we say student dot push blah blah blah. So let us explain what we call an array. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who can explain to me what do you understand by an array? Have you heard of the word array before? And if you have an idea, you can share it.
Yeah. So an array is a list of an object, or simply put, a related object. For example, an array of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an array of letters and the rest of the same kind, or it could be of different kinds together in the same. But its array is just a list or a compartment of a list of value or objects. Yeah.
All right, list of value or object. Okay, good. Okay, another person want to try. At least you must have heard of the word array, maybe use the name. Okay, let it be in an array form, Who else want to go? Who else want to try?
Yes, sir. I think an array is like a collection of things, just like collection of things.
Collection of what? Fit your voice went faint.
I said collection of things.
Okay, collection of things. Okay, I like that word, collection. All right, who else want to try?
It's a array is list. like a list of things.
A list of things. All right. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Have you seen okay? All of you here on this call, you went to secondary school. Remember when you're on your assembly ground, you know, how do you file? You file based on classes, right? GSS 1, GSS 2, and then you're on a line. So you can be able to say that this is the line for GSS 1. And then what happens? The first there's the number one person, the next person comes, you join you join behind, you join behind. So you can be able to say that, hey, you can be able to identify someone by the uh um I'm looking for the right word. By your number on the line. Do you understand? You have a name. Your name is Tunji, but you can be identified by a position on the line. How many of you have seen that before? They'll say, oh, that person on number 20, maybe it's assembly ground or something, somewhere else, but you are given a number. You have a name, you have an identity, you are a male, you are a female, but at that point, they did not respect your name or anything. They gave you a number, or maybe you are doing something in the class, they will say that, oh, you are number 1, you are number 2, you are number 3, and they keep going because of your arrangement, your positioning. So the person in the front is given number 1, person behind is given number 2, the person number 3, number 4. Do you understand what I'm trying to talk about? I know you've seen this kind of thing play out before. Have you seen this before? I'm just trying to come down in a
Yes,
layman
sir.
way. All right,
Yes,
good.
sir.
So yeah, so array is a collection of items in positions, with positioning. So what that means is you are seeing a collection of items that are in position. So those items, you see the item, you see the first item, you recognize the second item, until the end item, maybe 100. So if you have 100 items, there will be an item that is number 1, there will be an item that is the last one. Also, an array can be collection of the same item and can be collection of different items. It depends. That is the prerogative of the person that designs the array. You are the person. You are the one instructing the computer. So, for example, I can create an array of oranges. I can say orange 1, orange 2, orange 3, orange 4, orange 5, and I can be able to say the 10th orange. I can make an array of fruit, collection of fruit, collection of fruit. And I'll say the first position is pineapple. The second position is orange that came next. The third position it is purple that came next. The next one is pineapple, it's apple, and can keep going on like that. So I can then be able to say that, okay, give me the item on the first of the list. Right. The computer does not understand that the first item is banana or pineapple. It recognizes it by positioning. So if the computer wants to pick a particular item, it will go and pick the item per position. You need to understand that. Collection of items. But if the computer wants to operate with it, your computer understands the positioning of those items. Yeah. So you can determine how you want to create an array. Now, why do we create an array? Who can tell me? Why do we need an array? Why do we need an array?
Yeah.
Sam?
Can I go, sir?
Yeah, sure, bro.
So basically to place the value, for example, what we have in the app, right? The name and the score, we place it in a sequential manner, right? So that the first one that comes in index of this particular will be the first one to enter the array, then the next one, so that we have it sequentially. So that's why we have or why we use array.
So why do we need to use array when we are developing? That's not the answer. So you'll be meeting with a lot of information that are put into an array. Okay, an array. Okay, for example, why we need an array is very simple. A variable can hold one value. What is a variable? What is the data type of a variable is one. It's one value. It can either be what? Integer, number, or string. Right? It can either be a number 10, number 20. It ends there. Or a string. A string like your name, the name of a city, or your matriculation number. That's a string. But an array can hold, instead of holding one value, it can hold like 20 values within a variable. That's an array. So now that 20 value, for example, you want to, in a supermarket has different type of tea, different type of coffee, different maker of coffee, or different kind of bread, maker of bread, right? And somebody wants to come and buy a bread. So now, the person wants to buy a bread, you on your own computer, what you are listing out, you just type bread, and then it lists out all the information on that bread. It's listing those things out from an array. But let us get to an example. Let's begin to see an example so that you understand practically. If you're on your computer, please go to W3 School. Let's go there. Let's go. Let me use that as a plain array for us. Okay, let's go to W3 School. Okay, can you see? For them, they just even jump into. So an array is an object type designed for storing data collection. Do you get it? And key characteristics of JavaScript array are elements. Element, that's the things you want to put there. Order. Array elements are ordered based on their index. Blah 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 blah. Let's just why use array? If you have a list of items, a list of car names, for example, storing the names in single variable could look like this. Do you see what I'm talking about? A variable can store only one set of value at a time. This actually is consuming much more. No, let me not talk about that so I don't confuse you. He said, however, but if you want to look through the cars and find a specific one, and if you add like if you add not 3 cars but 300, the solution is an array. Like you have 300 cars. Looping means that you want to check car 1, car 2, is it car 3, is it the car on position 30 you are looking for, is it the one on 50 you are looking for? So an array can hold many values under a single name, and you can access the value by referring to an index number. The index number is the positioning. Position 1, the first position, the second position, and the last position. You understand? So now, how do we create an array? It's very simple. This is how an array is created. So let's look at an example. So this is an array. So you declare a variable. This is how to declare an array. So this is an array of string. And so what they did here is just to attribute get element by ID demo in a class. It's just to attribute this guy, just to attribute the array. So I can change this array to, I can say something like this. Yeah. I can say something like this. You see, 10, 20, 40. So all of this is seen as an array. Do you understand? So they are all within one variable. Do you get? So what else can I do? I can say something like, I'm looking at the best way for you to understand. Okay, I'm sure you understand. So let me do something like this. Assuming I want to get the first element in this array, what I'll just do is this. You see, this car, this is it. That's what I'm attributing here. So this one, document.get element by ID is this guy and this element tag. I put an ID here. It's called demo. Inner.html, it means I want this guy. What should be here? What should be in this place? Will be the value right here. So that's why you are seeing 10, 20, 40. But I want it to carry the cost. Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We can't hear you, sir. Sir.
All right. Give me a moment. I have the call.
We can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now? Hello, am I audible now?
Yes,
You
sir.
are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I
Yes,
can
sir.
see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, like I was saying.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I think there's a lag in the internet. Sorry. Okay, like I was saying.
Yes, I can
So
see.
you see these cars, we are putting the attribute inside here. This through a JavaScript. So I'm using this JavaScript to access this guy, this element. Get element by ID, demo. Getting this guy. It does inner, it means I'm embedding something in the inner HTML inside here. So, and it is the result, the aspect of it. So that's why you find this. That's why you find it. I can do something like this. This is no, let me do something like this. This is the result of array plot. Let me run this. Okay, this is the result of the. Can you see? So it's imputing this class. This is concatenation. Hope you do not forget. So I'm concatenating to a string the value of cars of this array. So I can say that is array number one. I want to. Array number one is represented by index 0. So an array counts from 0. So if I have 3 elements, it means the first item will be 0, the second will be 1, the third will be 2. It has a length of 3. Do you understand? So the characteristic of an array is the positioning of the items, the collection items itself, the positioning of the items, the length. You can get the length of an array, meaning what's the size, how many items is in that array. Do you understand? So I can do something like this, and if I run it, you see, it give me the item on position 0 is 10. If I say the item on position 2, item on position 2 should be what? Who can tell me?
Fort- 40. 40, sir.
Hello?
I said 40. 40.
Uh, who else? Who agree?
Sir.
Is that a correct answer?
Yes, sir.
I said 40.
And wait, why is it that it's only few people we have talking in this? I think every other person has gone on mute. Do we have people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. Mayowa, what should be the answer here? What should be the result of cars, the position 2 array? Hmm? Kingsley. Hello, Kingsley. Are you with us? Mayowa, are you with us? Who else
Sir,
has not
Mr.
spoken?
Kingsley,
Promise.
Mr. Kingsley. Oh, sorry.
Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Sir, Mr. Kingsley. Mr. Kingsley. Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. I think my network is very bad.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Mr.
Because of
Kingsley
my network,
said
let's proceed.
it was.
So that I don't waste time. So you understand an array by partitioning. So this is item 2. So if we run this, it will give us 40.
Okay, sir. Mr. Kingsley said it was.
So 40 is the answer right here. Do you understand? All right. So let's go back to our source code. So right here, we declared an empty array student. So the essence for this is to be able to push. Now, another thing is array can be multi-dimensional. Yeah, it can be multi-dimensional. This is a singular array. So an array can be multi-dimensional. Hmm? So let me look for that. A array can be multi-dimensional. So just like in the case where we have more than one item, okay. So let me take us on that. So let's look at this. Let's look at that. Okay, just hold on for me. Let me try and get. So can you hear me?